That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
Yo. What is going on? My name is Rashad. I'm in the zone and you is with me. Gotta keep it going off the top with the my name is Rashad Milligan. This is the Road to 5K Subs. If you are new to the channel, yeah. Basketball weekend. It's basketball weekend. I'm just touch on basketball real quick so I can kind of cover my bases because I'm gonna be talking about a whole bunch of other stuff that isn't basketball today. Nikola Jokic, 30 points. Wait, hold on. Let me get the exact stats. Hold on, let's pull this up. Jokic had like 30, 20, and 20. But what type of 20 and 20 was it? Was it like 21 rebounds and 22 assists? It was something like that, bro. It was crazy. Let me see. All right, there we go. Yeah, Jokic had in 45 minutes, 31 points, 22 assists, and 21 rebounds, bro. Like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. He's crazy, man. He crazy, bro. And it's like, he's at back-to-back right now. So this will be three-peat, if I'm not mistaken, or it'll be like 4 of the last 5 or 3 of the last 4 because I know Embiid got it 1 year. But Jokic is on a crazy run, bro. And he won a title. He's got a title on this year's belt already. So it's not just individual accolades. And this team, I don't know if this team is necessarily just as great as, I'm saying the championship team. I think Jamal Murray's regressed a little bit. I think Aaron Gordon, due to injuries, regressed a little bit. Obviously, last night, Aaron Gordon had a great game. I think he went like 5 for 5 or starting out from 3 for the night. He ended up with 27 points in 39 minutes. Murray had 19 points. I think that's good enough when your best player has 30, 20, and 20. Michael Porter Jr. and MPJ, 16 points. That's kind of what you want from him in that mid-range of production level. Russell Westbrook, double digits as well. How many players in double digits? 1, Peyton Watson, Russell Westbrook. Christian Braun had 25, 5 and 5. Okay, Christian Braun. Jamal Murray was in double digits. Jokic, obviously, double digits. MPJ, double digits. So they had 7 players in double digits, bro. Everybody eats when you play with Nikola Jokic. This is crazy. And they won in overtime by 8 points. But if anything, maybe this is a positive sign for the Suns that they fought hard with one of the better teams in the league. Bobo, you got to give us more than this. 14 points. 14 minutes, 5 points, 5 rebounds. If you're supposed to be the slept on one who doesn't get the playing time and doesn't get the opportunity that people say you don't, you have to step up more in games like this, bro. Against your former team too. Nick Richards, a solid 18 and 5. Book, of course, 34, 7 and 6. And then KD did his thing too. Mason Plumlee, 18 and 11 off the bench. That's very solid. Very solid. I'm just box score watching with this. And then in Unrivaled, we had the Rose win last night. They clinched the playoff spot. I don't know if they clinched this playoff spot before last night. I missed the game because I was on a flight. And it was one of the flights that don't have the, what I'm saying? They don't have the joints on there. They don't have the TVs on there. So I missed the actual play, but I saw all the clips with Angel in particular, and I saw that Angel was barking back with her and Nafisa, like they were going back and forth at it. I think Angel, like Nafisa, like they got into kind of like got hooked up or whatever, tingled up, and then I think Angel kind of like gave Fee an elbow and she's running down the court and Fee like tried to push her or whatever on her way back down the floor. And then Angel made a shot and I think she said something to Fee. And then Fee made a shot on Slim. And then after she made the shot though, she ran to Angel Reese and said something to Angel Reese on their way back to the bench or whatever during the time. It's getting spicy. I say all this to say it's getting spicy. And then Angel also had something with Shakira, and it's crazy. 2 players are like, no, I didn't cover Angel in high school, but I covered Kira in high school. But players I covered from very young, kind of grown ups from the same area. But Angel threw down Shakira and one play down to the ground and stuff like that. it's getting spicy, bro. It's getting spicy. It's getting real. We're headed to the playoffs and unrivaled and stuff like that. So it's getting real over there. It's real hoops. You know, they're kind of cutting down on the season at the same time as March Madness. And I think they're gonna continue to kind of garner the same type of attention just because the games are so good. The drama's ramping up. And you have to give this credit to Angel Reese, bro. Um, every situation, every new level, every new challenge, she might start off struggling and trying to figure it out. Once she figures it out. And she's a legitimate good basketball player. She's been tested at every level now. She's been tested at Maryland, been tested at LSU, been tested at the beginning of her rookie season versus the end of her rookie season with the Chicago Sky, beginning of Unrivaled versus how she looks now in Unrivaled. She's figured it out. 3-on-3 full court. Okay, that might be a struggle, even though Angel Reese has shown guard like abilities in the past and stuff like that at LSU and stuff like that, bringing up the ball and doing what she does. At the same time, uh, you know, finishing is an issue, has been an issue with the Chicago Sky. And since beyond the Chicago Sky, dating back to college, it was always the limiting range of her jump shot and a consistent jumper. And she seems like she's figured out a jumper that's good enough to get by it unrivaled. And more importantly, her finishing at the rim has improved so much since the beginning of this league. And that's something that I really want people to point out because she sits down with Lisa Leslie. It's kind of like with La Roche, right? Like off the court, she had La Roche on the podcast and she was like, "What do you want to see me do with fashion?" He's like, "Put on more clothes." And it's like, "Oh, okay, all right, so I don't have to do this and do that." And that might have changed Angel Reese's entire thing off the court, right? And might have brought her brand up to another level in the world of fashion, where she's, one of the Met Gala people now and stuff like that, board members and stuff like that for 2025. And then you think about on the court, she has Lisa Leslie. What do you want me to add to your game? First of all, credit to Angel Reese for asking the right questions. I don't know if it's her producers coming up with these questions or if it's her coming up with these questions or a combination of both. But both of these questions and the answers that she received from them, I believe, are the things that it's stuff like that that's going to take her career to the next level. And when Lisa Leslie said you have to work on finishing your layups, you have to work on finishing around the rim, and she went out and did that, or it looks like she's doing that. And these highlights and these clips, like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch the full game live last night because I was on the flight. But in these highlights, you can even tell from the highlights, most of the layups are just first attempt layups. There's no putbacks. There's no miss a shot, get the rebound, miss another shot, get the rebound, and then make it, and then foul, and then you guys are screaming and it's none of that. It's just in transition, you get the ball, play two-on-one game, and then you put up the layup, and she makes it. And so her finishing is getting much better at the rim. She's becoming a more efficient offensive player and stuff like that. You already know what she brought on the defensive end and on the boards. She's becoming a very, very dangerous player. And she was already, I'm saying, one of the better post players in the league as an all-star, and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's like when people talk about Angel Reese, it's just like you obviously don't follow basketball. But yeah, she's a pretty good player, man. Pretty good player. And young player, only going to get better. And it seems like she's open to getting better, open to the criticism. I think I don't want to say needed, but I think it did help a lot to have that spotlight placed on her at LSU and get ridiculed the way that she got ridiculed, because now I feel like she kind of got the period of where the criticism to you, it goes beyond kind of like being hurt or being on the defensive when somebody says something mean to you, and you get to, okay, where can I get the constructive critiques out of this kind of what you would think would be a hateful narrative or a hateful statement, and how can I use that to really work on my game and improve? And I think she's at that part of the spectrum, and she's like really getting better and stuff like that. So salute to Angel Reese on that. I don't know, just want to salute her on that growth and everything. That's Angel Reese. She was 8 of 16, so she was 50% from the field last night. What else do I want to talk about? Okay, I guess I will go to this now. The Dolce joint, right? So Dolce, she went viral yesterday for a clip of her on Hot Ones with her DJ Miss Milan, and they were just talking about what are my red flags for dating, and she said her red flags with dating was being a straight man. and this caused up like just a bunch of controversy. And a woman in particular was like, what did she say? She said, hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. She said in particular, can we just have someone normal represent us, I guess, as in black woman or black people and stuff like that? Because Dochi's kind of like the latest black it girl in Hollywood and entertainment and Hollywood and stuff like that. And my response to that is you just look at creatives, and creatives are naturally weird people because they see the world through a different lens. It's like to be creative, you have to think in a way that people don't think. Most people, most normal people think or operate. When you think of Erica Badu, she's very eccentric. It's very just like, oh, Grand Rising. You know what I'm saying? It's very like the soap, the moon, the stars, the grass, and it's like, okay, all right, you okay? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just who creatives are. A lot of people, there's a YouTube video that's titled like theater kids are saving the music industry, thank you, or you're welcome, or something like that. And you think about how dramatic Dochi is. She's obviously a theater kid. Like when she performs, like the amount of yeah, the over performance she does, so it comes across to the crowd that she's doing kind of like the right amount of energy and the right amount of stuff. That all comes from theater class and stuff like that. And it's the same thing with Tyler the Creator, of how he does a lot. And it's like, yeah, steps like this, or even when he raps, if he'll rap something that's like, say pudding, but he'll call it. And he talked about this in his interview in 2018 with Gerard Carmichael, talking about Flower Boy, right? And he was talking about rose colored cheeks, and the so and so, to like, to describe pudding, he'll say like a um but the pudgy substance of the but you know what I'm saying? Something like different, like the dessert and the sweet of the pudgies. He'll say it in a different way. And it's something that's so dramatic when you could have just said, uh, I got a bowl of pudding, or you know what I'm saying, I got a pouch of pudding and I put it in my bag and I go to class and I do it. You know what I'm saying? You could say something like that versus this liquidy substance that's packaged in a plastic container. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's very dramatic, everything he does. But the dramatics just show how much he really puts into it. Um, and same thing, you know what I'm saying? Even with Drake. Even with Drake, we can say a lot about Drake and, oh, it comes across as corny, woo woo, da 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 da. I'd rather Drake be corny and show that he tries than act like he doesn't care and not try, bro. I'm all for people being cringe. I'm all for people being cringe, coming off corny, because it's like life is literally too short. And I think the most innovative ideas and creativity comes out of the risk of coming across as cringe or corny or weird. So it's like Dochi saying this and Dochi acting the way she acts. And y'all say, can we just have a normal black person represent us? Or can we just have a normal black girl represent black women? Um, it's never existed. Like there's never been a normal, innovative, genre bending, genre shifting, culture forward pushing, thinking creative. Missy Elliott, Sierra, Beyonce. If you look at Beyonce's Instagram, she's pretty weird. It's like, what the heck is this woman thinking about? Like, it's like she'll post like, remember, I haven't been on Instagram in a little minute, but like I remember when I was a few years ago with Beyonce, and Beyonce's Instagram was like literally her in like a empty skating rink, and it'll be like a montage of just photos, and she'll just be and the music will be like it was weird. Like, and people just kind of let it fly, I guess, because it was Beyonce, but it was really weird. Like Donald Glover, you guys know how weird he is, and one of the more innovative people in it and stuff like that. I don't know. I think I follow a lot of artists, a lot of underground artists, and a lot of the most innovative artists, like the artists, because Earl Sweatshirt said the real innovation, real creativity, the real change starts in the underground. The mainstream kind of just poaches from the underground, what's popping in the underground, stuff like that. So I follow a lot of underground artists and stuff like that, independent artists, people doing some really dope stuff, making crazy videos on a limited budget, all of those things. And um what did I want to say with that? What did I want to say with that? What I wanted to say with that was, hold on. I'm sorry, I got thrown off. It always throws me off with the little iMessage thing, and I'm like, ah. Okay, but it was okay. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. It always throws me off. I even forgot. I forgot my point. I'm not even gonna hold you. I forgot my point. I forgot my point. But I'm saying all this to say that, oh yes, underground artists, independent artists. So I follow them on social media, and at some points they just go on rants and tangents about like nothing. And he was like, "Is this person okay?" And you might reach out to them and be like, "Yo, you good?" Or like, "Hey, like, hope you're doing well." And they'll be like, "Oh, I love you, man. Like, thank you." And then they'll like might continue to rant or be like, "Just because I went on this rant doesn't mean that I'm not okay. I'm okay." And it's like, I don't know. I say all this to say creators are weird people, bro. Regardless. And I think the best creatives, the more innovative you are, your mind has to think on a different frequency than what is considered the societal norm. Because if you thought in the box of what the societal norm is, then you won't create anything that the world hasn't seen before. And so that's why I'm like, you guys are mad at Dochi for not being normal. Everybody great and everybody that takes stuff to the next level isn't normal. Like Kobe, we can go to sports, right? You think about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, those dudes aren't normal. Like LeBron, you know what I'm saying? When Dwayne Wade was telling the story of him with the Miami Heat, he goes to sleep at a certain time, he takes a nap at a certain time, he has a certain routine. On the plane, every time on the plane we go to a different game, Brian asks, "Where are my cookies? Where are my cookies at? I need my cookies." Every single time at a specific hour on the flight, on the way to the next destination, on the way to the next game. Like that type of stuff isn't normal. You know what I'm saying? Like people aren't like, okay, it's time for me to sit in this chamber, this ice chamber for an hour, sit in the ice tub for 45 minutes on the dot, get out here, lift weights for 45 minutes a day, um, put up shots for an hour and 45 minutes a day, every single day. Like, that's not normal stuff, bro. Like, that's some psychotic behavior to reach a level that nobody's ever seen with the final product. Kobe Bryant doing the 2 workouts in the morning, doing the workout, going to sleep at 9, waking up at 2. Excuse me. Getting to the Lakers practice facility at 3 a.m., working out from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., going back home, showering, eating breakfast, taking his kids to school, and then going back to practice uh, uh, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. No, working out from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., doing practice from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., then going home, taking a break, taking a nap from 12 to 2 p.m., and then going back for another shoot around from 4 to 6 p.m. Like, that stuff is not normal, bro. Like, that's some psychotic behavior. But I think you have to think outside of something that is considered the norm to be beyond normal. It's just kind of, I don't know. It makes sense to me. So I don't know why people are getting mad at Dochi for not being a normal person. Um, I think anybody with a creative bone in their body or anybody creative beyond the norm is not normal. You take the results, you get what you get with it. You know what I'm saying? Like with this person, they might create something that you're like, how does your brain even think of that? And then on the outside, they might do something where you're like, how does your brain even correlate the two? Like it doesn't make sense. It's just is what it Michael Jackson. I'm kind of leave it at that. But Michael Jackson, bro, I think it's a prime example of a creative that doesn't think in the norm and is who he is. So it is what it is. I did want to touch on the Halle Bailey and DDG situation. Um, very briefly because I wanted to get into more in depth with some people who actually know about parenthood. I don't have kids, so I don't know anything about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate when people are like, man, yeah, DDG need to do this and he need to do, like, you don't even have kids. You know what I'm saying? So how you gonna tell us what's up? And I will give the background bias and stuff like that, I am a follower, a longtime follower of DDG, a longtime supporter of DDG, subscriber, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm also a supporter of Halle because she's from Atlanta and stuff like that. She's from the Atlanta area. I believe they from like Dunwoody or something like that. Her and her sister and their family and stuff. And they grew up, on Tyler Perry Productions. There's some over there by Greenbrier, on the west side, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So they are Atlanta through, all the way up through their careers and stuff. So I'm also a fan of Halle. But I'll probably side a little more with DDG on stuff just because I followed him like kind of intense, and I met him more. I've interviewed him twice. Halle, I've only met her, I believe, once. I probably seen her and her sister perform when they were kids at some Atlanta thing. Like, I don't know. I don't know where they would perform, but I probably seen them somewhere as kids. Just like Lotto. Like I've seen Lotto perform on her come up around the city just because like she was trying to be a rapper for so long. But getting back to the topic, I'm aware of DDG more. So I'll say this, man. With the situation that it looks like, I know DDG has gone out of his way to not throw dirt on Halle's name. Like he's gone out of his way to say, "Don't attack Halle." Um, when he had his homeboys or his cousins or whatever like that on Kai's stream said, "Yo, have you checked Twitter? It really bounced back on her." He said, "Shh," because he knew he was on camera. He knew he was on stream. So that might be the way that he talks about Halle and everything like that. Away from it, off stream, off camera, and stuff like that. But on camera, on the internet, everything like that in public, he never talks down on her. Last night was the first time that he has publicly and consistently doubled down. He tweeted, he went live, and he knew the clips was going to be clipped up and go. He knew what it was going to do because he knows who he is. He's been on the internet for a long time. That he's done that. And he said he believes it was his last opportunity and chance. Me personally, seeing battles with my uncles and my own personal family and immediate family situations and stuff like that, I've seen people. How do you say this? I've seen people take months, sometimes years, to settle the custody differences between the parents and stuff like that. Of who gets the parents, what time do they get the kids and stuff like that. What happens if it's your weekend and you're out of town on business and stuff like that. And I would assume that it's a little more complicated with two celebrities because the schedules are so hectic and you probably don't know what you're doing until like the day before or something like that if you're even going to be available. And yeah, and then the money involved, like should DDG have to pay a child support? You know what I'm saying? If they both make millions, like like Holly's in a lot of movies. She wasn't just in the Little Mermaid. She was also in Color Purple, and she's in a bunch of other movies and stuff like that. So she's making a lot of money. And then you got to think about all the residuals that she probably gets from just the Chloe and Halle days. A lot of people are looking at her singles and her solo artist career and stuff like that. All of those numbers, but you have to consider the fact that Chloe and Halle still probably get streamed and make money from that and stuff like that, from all those plays and streams and stuff like that from that era. So I'm saying this to say she's well off. I believe she's well off. DDG is obviously well off because he's a little more loud with his stuff. And Holly's on Snapchat as well. And DDG said that he makes more money on Snapchat than any other social media platform. So I know that Holly's making a bag off of Snapchat as well. Anyways, regardless, getting back to it. They both have money. They both have hectic schedules. How do you break that up? All of this stuff, it's probably going to take a little while for the judge to kind of come to a certain thing. That's what DDG was trying to avoid. Like he said in the video, now I got to go to court. I don't want to go to court and do all of this just to see my son. That's what he said. And I believe him. I believe him because it's some other stuff, some small things that I've just picked up or whatever throughout the course of their relationship that shows me, like he said, Halle isn't, you know what I'm saying, just like the innocent, perfect person that might be her branding and stuff like that on that type of level. Which her fans say as well, which is crazy. It's like her fans say this themselves. So it's like for them to just automatically assume that he's this evil guy, which is crazy. Like, do I think that he's done some childish stuff and everything? 100%. But I think she's also moved childish as well. Like, so I don't think there's anybody that's like this person is above the other. I think they both kind of moved in a crazy way. Um, but I also don't think that makes them. I don't think DDG is evil. I'll say that. I don't think DDG is evil. And I'll say this without knowing her or the situation. I don't think Hallie's intentions are evil. I think it's just an emotional situation. It's emotional attachments on both sides. DDG really loves his son and he really wants to see his son and he really wants to be in his child's life in an active way, in a way that's more than 24 to 48 hours at a time. Halle really loves her son and she wants to be with her son most of the time. If she's not around her son, I think she said like she feels like her soul isn't complete or whatever, like, but she feels like she's at peace when she's with her son. She feels the exact same way about the baby. So it's like with those emotions involved, any and everything is just a bit heightened. Like your interactions are heightened, your responses are, well, you never care about a baby, da, 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 da. Like because it's just an emotional situation, and I think that's just what the case is on both ends. So I did want to say that. Like I said, I'll get more into it when I can be with a parent that has dealt with custody battles in court and all that stuff. But yeah. And then yeah. For the final thing, Caleb Wilson's warrant. So the police had a press conference in Baton Rouge yesterday and things of that sort. And I do want to say shout out to the advocate. Make sure everybody hold on, let me stop the screen real quick. Hi, this is Rashad Milligan. Make sure you support Capital City Press and Rashad Milligan. If you want to help support me in any ways, make sure you support, read, subscribe to all of Capital City Press's media organizations. That's the Shreveport Bossier Advocate, The Advocate, the Acadiana Advocate, and NOLA.com, aka NOLA News or the Times Picayune. I'm Rashad Milligan. I approve this message. Okay. So yeah, the Caleb Wilson stuff came out yesterday. They had a press conference about it and stuff like that. Shout out to Quinn Kaufman. This is my first time reading this. Baton Rouge police pursuing two additional suspects in a hazing unalive investigation. Baton Rouge police said they are preparing warrants to arrest two additional suspects connected to last week's hazing unaliving of Southern University junior engineering student Caleb Wilson, 20. Police Chief Thomas Morris Jr. said during a Friday morning news press conference the two suspects are expected to turn themselves in. Additional warrants can't be ruled out, Morse told reporters. Nothing remains more than an active, ongoing investigation involving his department, the East Baton Rouge District Attorney's Office, with cooperation from Southern University. Late Thursday, former Southern University student Caleb McCray, 23, surrendered to the Baton Rouge police. McCray's attorney said in a statement Friday his client is innocent. McCray marked his first arrest tied to the fatal Omega Psi Phi fraternity hazing ritual Moore said occurred on February 27th in the warehouse on 3412 Woodcrest Drive. McCray was booked into the East Baton Rouge Parish Jail Thursday night on one count of each manslaughter and hazing. McCray made his initial court appearance Friday afternoon, where his bond was set at $100,000, according to his attorney. I maintain my client's innocence and urge the public to withhold rushing to judgment until all the evidence has been heard, McCray's defense attorney, Philip Robinson, said. Moore said Friday Wilson's unalive was a direct result of being punched while pledging to join the Mega Psi Phi. The police chief said McCray's arrest and additional anticipated arrests in the case are a result of around-the-clock work by law enforcement that including questioning more than a dozen people, Dennis Shields, president of Southern University, said at a news conference that the Omega Psi fraternity was ordered to cease all activities at the university. In addition, all campus, club, and Greek life recruiting has been suspended by the university through the academic year, Shields said. University officials are conducting an internal investigation of Wilson's unalive, and Shields made clear that the student groups face the prospect of discipline, and it's possible that some students could be expelled. On February 27th, Wilson, a Kenner native and former trumpet player in Southern's famed Human Jukebox Marching Band, and 8 other Omega Sci-Fi pledges lined up in order of height for fraternity. Oh, they got details for a fraternity ritual that took place inside the Woodcrest Drive warehouse just south of Greenwell Springs Road. The pledges were brought into the building and were forced to change into gray sweatsuits. McCrae and the other 2 suspects took turns punching them in the chest using a pair of black boxing gloves, according to McCrae's arrest warrant affidavit. Each pledge absorbed 4 punches from fraternity members, imposing the rite of passage. Authorities said each punch represented one of the fraternity's 4 cardinal principles: manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. Jeez. Investigators were told neither Omega Sci-Fi members nor pledges were allowed to bring cell phones inside the Woodcrest Drive warehouse during the pledging ritual, a source close to the investigation said. According to his arrest affidavit, McCrae delivered the final blow before Wilson collapsed to the floor and began having a seizure. Fraternity members did not call 911 after Wilson experienced a medical episode and waited to bring him to a local hospital, sources said. An autopsy report mentioned the arrest affidavit revealed a small bruise to the right side of Wilson's chest. Wilson's full autopsy report is not yet complete. Baton Rouge Coroner's Office of Chief Investigation Shane Tyndale said Friday afternoon. The cause and manner of his unaliving remained undetermined pending additional tests, Tyndale said. Moore said Wilson was taken to the Baton Rouge General Bubonic hospital by a group of friends, and police were called there at about 2:40 a.m. on February 27th. Before leaving the hospital, the friends said that they had been playing basketball with Wilson at a Baton Rouge park, the police chief said. In Louisiana, hazing can be a felony under Max Groover Act, which passed in 2018 and named after LSU Phi Delta Theta fraternity member who died who was on the live in a hazing incident in 2017. Louisiana's anti-hazing law prohibits hazing regardless of the targeted person voluntarily allowed it. Violators faced up to $1,000 fine and 6 months behind bars. If a person hazing is on the live or seriously injured, penalties face up to a $10,000 fine and 5 years in prison. The increased penalties also apply if hazing involves coarse alcohol consumption that leaves the victim's blood alcohol concentration at or above 0.30%. A manslaughter conviction can lead up to 40 years in prison. The Woodcrest Drive warehouse is being leased by Todd Smith, the owner of the California Hardwood Floors. Smith is a member of a graduate chapter of Omega Psi Phi. He told WAFB, and his son is a current member. Southern University Board of Supervisors Chairman Tony Clayton, who is the 18th Judicial District Attorney in Western Baton Rouge, said on Friday in an interview that he's pushing for the Omega fraternity to be removed from the university. They forfeited their right to be on our college's campus. So my vote is to expel them, and I mean indefinitely, said Clayton, himself a member of the Omega fraternity. It's just uncalled for. You send your kids off to school, you want them to come home and to visit you on a weekend. You don't want them to come home in a plastic bag. Sheesh. 2005, Omega Psi Phi kicked off Southern's Baton Rouge campus. Archives from the Advocate, the Times-Picayune show. The university ordered a 3-year expulsion after the university officials found overwhelming evidence that the fraternity pledge was severely beaten with injuries that led to internal bleeding. More recently, Omega Psi Phi was kicked off of LSU's campus in 2016 after university officials found the fraternity responsible for complicity, endangerment for hazing violations of a student code of conduct. LSU found that the fraternity engaged in hazing activities. They included sleep deprivation, personal solitude, 5 a.m. workouts, skipping class, and more. Omega Psi Phi has since returned to LSU's campus. The Louisiana legislature sought to tighten laws around hazing after former LSU students Groover's unaliving in 2017. He pledged to Phi Delta Theta fraternity, Groover was forced to drink excessively during a fraternity ritual called Bible study. Meanwhile, Wilson's family last week thanked the community for their unwavering support. The former Southern student father, Corey Wilson, has worked 35 years as a deputy at the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office. The elder Wilson also worked as security details for the New Orleans Saints and for New Orleans Pelicans owner Gail Benson. Caleb Wilson's mother is a student at Southern University's New Orleans campus. In the family statement released by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, Wilson's family said, "We are committed to seeking the truth about circumstances surrounding Caleb's passing and enduring that no other family has to endure such a tragedy." East Baton Rouge Parish Mayor President Sid Edwards joined the law enforcement officials at Friday's news conference. Edwards was encouraged young people to make better decisions, and we've got to do better, Baton Rouge. Staff writers Patrick Sloan Turner, Julia Gilbo, and Aiden McHale contributed to the story. But yeah, so there is that. I saw somebody say something that I wanted to see. Let me see. What? He posted bond? This man posted bond? He posted the $100,000 bond? All right, bro. All right, man. Well, that's the latest in the Caleb Wilson story. Rest in peace, Caleb Wilson. Say his name, Caleb Wilson. Praise up to the family. Prayers up to any families going through a tragedy right now. Things of that sort. My name is Rashad Milling. As always, this is the Road to 5K subs. If you're new to the channel, until next time, please take care of.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.